All right. And we are live once again. By the way, I just have to say this. I don't care if I'm watching Gurren. I don't care if I'm watching Ava. Netflix, stop asking me if I want to skip the intro because I'm not going to.
I was just gonna say, there are certain shows you just don't ask the question.
No, it's like saying like, "Hey, do you want to go to the next episode so you don't have to watch the ending to Great Pretender?" It has freaking Freddie Mercury in it. I'm not going to skip that. Come on, what are you talking about?
Exactly, it's ridiculous. All right, Mike, go ahead.
All right, let me find my place really quick. Okay, so this is episode 10. This is the Magma Diver. So the Evangelion pilots, except for Rei, are excited about their upcoming class trip to Okinawa, but are upset to learn that they cannot leave Tokyo 3, so they have to be on standby in case of an angel attack. A dormant angel, Sandalphon, is discovered in an embryonic stage, nesting deep in the magma of an active volcano, and in the hopes of gaining greater insight into the angels, Asuka is sent to capture it by lowering Unit 2 into the magma, while it wears a special giant coolant suit for protection. We'll get into that.
Yep.
However, the angel soon awakes and advances beyond its embryonic stage, forcing Asuka to battle Sandalphon while deep beneath the surface of the magma. Asuka defeats the angel, but almost dies when Unit 2's protective equipment fails after suffering damage during the battle. Shinji, however, jumps to her rescue at the last moment. So, something Cameron and I talked about off camera. Asuka's character development is a roller coaster, to put it politely.
There's a lot of stuff that this first episode shows that it was the 90s, and then we'll get into that in a second. But
yeah,
no, first off, Asuka's overly demanding aspect of wanting every guy to have a spine in this show. It's like, I don't know if you really want to be in Shinji's feet to tell him to grow a spine. And I mean, yes, Shinji needs to get into robots, but it's really toxic. Come on. I don't know. And then it's just her wanting to be okay, what does she want to be with Ryoji? It's creepy. I'm sorry, it's creepy.
What? Just so the audience is clear, what exactly is the age difference between Ryoji and?
I don't know how old Ryoji is. I would assume 35, something like that.
It kind of feels like that's his age.
And then again, Japan does not like having clarifying ages in characters in things.
So this wiki says he's 30. So.
Okay, all right, that's fine. But yeah, the swimsuit shopping again. What did she do? Go to his apartment and be like, "Hey, do you want to go look at a preteen and really
exposing swimsuits?"
I can't say the statement. It's all the rage. Everyone wants to look at this, be in this stuff now.
No, and it's like, I guess it's not that. I don't know how am I going to word this. That's not the worst swimsuit that anime has shown. So.
No. And that's not even the worst full-on just outfit they've shown. Again, Gainax, kill. Ha!
Yeah. No, and God. And then it's like first off, in this world where we know that the polar ice caps have melted, what does Osaka look like that she's so hell-bent on going to this trip? Because from what I remember, them saying oh yes, the polar ice caps melted and a huge chunk of the world is flooded underwater, but nobody listens to the teacher. So
yeah, fine.
Yeah,
here's just stuff exploding.
Yeah, no, and okay, so here's something we learned about Asuka. She graduated from college, but she was not taught Japanese, even though she was going to be transported to a Japanese HQ.
We begin we again continue the stupidity of the language things with this show, because her mech got mad, or Ava got upset because someone was thinking Japanese thoughts while it was inside of her German mech that was going to be used in Japan. And then now she understands thermal expansion at 13, but she doesn't know how to speak Japanese to go to the Japanese schooling district she's going to be going to. But she also is just like, man, I wonder if thermal expansion would work on my breasts. I just need to know.
Golly.
That one.
I was kind of hoping that there was a gag that I forgot, like when she's like doing the whole diving backwards thing with the scuba tank and whatnot, that she just like hit her head when she falls in or something, because she's back to being like obnoxious here with her, like, I'm better than everyone and I'm going to show it off, even though the last time I did that got my Ava halfway underground with its feet sticking up. But whatever.
Yeah, like we said, her arc is a roller coaster.
She doesn't have an arc. She has an EKG monitor.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because at the end of this episode, when Shinji gets in the mech and saves her sorry ass, she actually kind of shows some appreciation, but then that gets thrown out the window immediately.
Oh, we're going to get into the Shinji saving her thing. That still pisses me off every time I see this episode, but...
No. So, Mike, were you ready to see another fetus?
I don't know how to answer that. Because...
That's on the list of questions he wasn't expecting to be asked today.
No, it's like, I forgot it.
And not only that, but like, then it starts to hatch, and like it feels like time. It feels like time just kind of presses fast forward. And it's like it's like it just hatched, and already it's like the size of an angel.
Well, they didn't have the budget to show that part off, so
no.
Okay, first of all, before we get to that, because I actually have a few points of praise for this angel encounter, but let's talk about how they encountered it. So they find that there's an egg or a fetus of an unformed angel inside a volcano.
That they think it's an angel. Keep in mind.
They think it's and so that thing, that the drone or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So this is what confused me. That's supposed to be like they're inside a volcano. So was that lava that they were in, or was that water? Because I feel like the thing wouldn't like pressurize and like implode on itself.
I don't know.
Because
I thought it was
that's
lava.
Well, that's what they keep saying. Or it's like it's either the lava or it's like a deep cavern of water or something. Because that's it. Like to me, there's a disconnect there. And then Ava, like Asuka's like, I want to do it because I just like showing off. And then she gets instantly reprimanded because it's like, well, now your suit's got to be heat proof, and it turns you into the girl from Willy Wonka when you eat the.
Yep. For comedic effect. Oh no, Roach, you can't see me like this. He'll think that I'm fat now.
Even though it's like, that's not how things work.
No.
It's like the rest of your body, like getting fat doesn't mean like your arms stay skinny and your head stays the same shape. Whatever. Yeah. And then what is with that diving suit that they put over the Ava? That thing is goofy as heck, and it's not like, if they were ready to fight that thing would have been forked, man. Yeah. Like,
you should keep in mind also that they put the safety suit completely over the Ava, and they put a cooling suit onto Asuka, but they don't put a cooling suit on the most important part of her entire body, her head.
The logic of that makes no sense.
Why? So you can see her expressions of her being irritated.
And then it's just like, well, she's obviously like she's like one of those MMO players where it's like it's all about the look, the visual look.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't care if this banana hat in this RPG of mine that I'm playing, it makes me look stupid with a knight's suit of armor and a banana hat. But the banana hat gives me 15 plus defense. I'm going to wear the banana hat. Gosh darn it!
Yep.
And then Ray's like, "Oh, I'll pilot every unit too." It's like, "Oh, how dare you!" And it's like, oh, the drama in this show. Like, sometimes it's good, but then it's like, it's obviously super teen angsty.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then again with the suit, the little crab claws things. How is that supposed to work? If that, like, of course the angel breaks out.
Yeah.
But again, there's no other weapons on that thing, and the knife was like out on the outside of the suit. Why isn't there like a compartment or something?
Because then Plot couldn't have it be knocked off, just like Plot made the egg hatch early.
Okay, well, so here's a few praises for this thing. One of the praises is kind of outdone because the fact that you can't see a darn thing for most of this fight. But when that egg hatches, that is one of the creepiest things.
Oh yeah,
hearing that low sound like, and the arms wiggling out, like, oh golly. And then of course they ran out of money, so they couldn't show the full transformation scene. So then you see it just pop up right there as this like lamprey looking thing.
It looks like a mite mixed with like a crayfish mixed with like centipede hands and mushrooms on its back. And
I need to see like an actual picture of this thing
in the private chat. That's where he's got it.
Yeah, I brought out too because
he's got
like
links to the private chat.
And it's like, it's kind of cool that it's like that angels can turn into these monsters looking things. They don't always have to be humanoid, but you can't see anything. And it sounds like it would be a really scary fight because Asuka's just can't move for the most part, but I can't see anything.
You think the reason why a lot of this episode takes place under the volcano is because they ran out of budget, so they had to like come up with an excuse to not show this stuff?
Yeah,
I don't know. And again, with the whole like, is this lava or not? When Shinji throws the knife down, and it's just slowly coming down.
Yeah. This is the one episode where it's like the most, and again, it's not in the 90s, but this is the most like 90s episode of anything ever. Because to me, when I think of 90s episodes, it's the start of it. They had a really cool plot idea where they mention something, and then magically it lets them beat the monster of the week at the end of the episode. That was exactly what this thing was, and exactly how the last one was. So that it's like they had the pre-90s solve it monster of the week thing down pat back here in like the thermal expansion. Oh wait, we happen to be going into a volcano that involves thermal expansion. Oh my god! Thankfully, we had that conversation. And
so, and I have a few questions like revolving around like before they descended into the volcano. One, who was Ryoji talking to in that thing that he was traveling on?
I don't remember.
I think it's just. I think it was like
scientist
some random. Something like that.
Because we haven't seen her, and it's like, does she know about all this? Like,
I don't know. And you have to also remember that before we get away from it, Captain Asshat himself, Ikari, was like, gave the okay to be like, well, if we don't kill it, I'm just going to throw the old N2 mine in there, and hopefully that does it. And it's going to kill my kid and everyone else in my organization. Because all of my high-ranking staff are at that fucking mountain. So there's my organization.
Reason number 100. Reason number 100 why Gendo is an asshole.
Yes.
Golly, it's like no problem with killing your own kid, and like and what kind of sucks, it's like they do kind of introduce little character bits to the side people. Like one guy likes reading manga, the other likes listening to music and whatever. Yeah. It's like, oh, I like that. Then Gendo is like, bomb him, nuke him, just whatever. I don't want to deal with them anymore.
Yeah, and like Shinji even asks, who would give an order like that? And then they're like, General Ikari, and he just goes, that makes sense.
Oh, gosh. And I don't know. It's like, well, okay, so they needed that special outfit over Unit 2. And then, like, at the very end, when the whole thing, like, it's about to break off, Shinji just drops in there. It's like, yeah, I don't care what happens. I'm going to grab her to save her. And it's like, shouldn't that thing be, like, I don't know, boiling, melting, or something? Like, we've seen,
It
like,
looks pretty. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't question it.
no, but it's like that, that two-parter episode with the Diamond Angel, like, when they were having to, like, use that big old sniper rifle and whatnot. Like, the beam of the blast, like, the heat radiated off of that, and the angels looked like they were going to melt.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't this thing just kind of like just like
Yeah.
melt when it get in there? But oh, whatever. But no, we gotta have the best anime trope of all time. The hot spring. No.
Oh no, it gets there, but it's just like this is a continuing trope of this show that where it's like, all right, this pilot has to do it because only theirs would work in this environment until theirs isn't the only one that works in this environment.
Oh gosh.
And the best part about it is they talk about that she's like 950 blank down there. She maybe got raised like 50 feet. So the knife took 15 years to get down there, but Shinji was down there in 2 seconds, however long. That Ava's perfectly fine.
The only possible explanation I can even think of is Shinji's the main character. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
The plot armor. No.
Gainax logic is what happened.
And then it's
Yeah.
like, and then it's just the kind of typical hot spring stuff. But I love that Pen got sent there by a box.
Yeah, they just
You know,
nailed
ignoring the
Pen.
fact that they didn't poke holes into that thing. So they're just
No.
lucky that the penguin survived. And then, gosh, the stupid shenanigans that they do with the hot spring thing, even though it kind of has a funny boner moment, but
before it,
yeah,
don't. That's a no-touch zone. You just
Yeah.
need to get over yourself and stop being such a child.
oh, God,
Mm.
no, just
Those children live with you, Masato.
this show. I mean, gosh, man, whatever. I mean, like, I don't know why they think this is a funny thing. It reminds me of, like, in the Wii game, The Last Story. There's a scene where it's like two of the female characters are in a bathroom, and then you hear this same kind of suggestive language, and then it's like, but look at these two big bags of money, and then you hear coins in the background. So it's like, at least that kind of played a little bit off of the the gag, but here it's just like, oh, it's uncomfortable, and then, golly, no, that just we find a little more about a little bit about Misato. That something happens, and now she has a large scar across her torso.
Both her and Ryoji mentioned that something really bad, and they keep mentioning the second impact, and it affected those two specifically.
We're gonna get more backstories, aren't we?
Yeah. Also, you
It sounds like
understand my problems, right? Yep, I know about your past. It's part of my job.
Do we? What's your past?
Yeah.
Tell me.
As soon as I heard that, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. It never got mentioned until now. Why? Because plot said it didn't need to be.
I mean, like, there's a right way and a wrong way of like revealing information past the point of like when it probably should have been, but gosh,
The show doesn't know how to do that. You're going to
No.
see a lot more of that. It's
No.
when we got a shocking reveal in an episode. Here!
yeah. No, but I did. It was kind of funny when it cuts down like to Shinji looking down. Pen's just kind of like, "Whoa, okay, buddy."
Beak to boner moment.
Yeah.
And you just see him have the Rock's eyebrow like, huh?
It just reinforces that Pin's the best character in the show.
Mhm.
Yes.
I mean, like, this was a mixed bag of an episode. Like, there are some cool things about it, but then there's also just a lot of story beats that just don't add up.
I think genuinely the only thing that like I loved about this episode was the angel itself. I think the animation of its of it like being hatched and then kind of like evolving into its shape until we don't get to see it is actually pretty cool and creepy.
Yeah.
But like a lot of this episode is going back to all the things I don't like about Asuka.
So, Mike, I have to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
And I just thought of this.
Okay.
So you and me used to do an after show on a YouTube channel, which I won't mention, for the Arrowverse.
I think I know where you're going with this, but continue.
Do you sense that, and obviously this is the CW's problem, but other people have it, do you sense that we have a lot of these episodes because they have to fill a 27 episode quota?
That, and also like the roller coaster that is Gainex's budget.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, yes.
Yes, because like there's a lot of these where basically nothing got revealed outside of like 3 sentences that told us stuff's going to be told in the next episode. So it was like, hey, it'd be really cool if we could fight them on their own turf. Hey, also thermal expansion's fun. What do we do in the episode? We thermal expand something after we found it sitting defenselessly when we went into their home turf. Cool.
And it's like the most deadliest crane game sequence ever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
But like you get the important reveals when you need to get them. There's just these random episodes where they were like, we needed to fill up slots, and it's
No, I remember watching this episode a long time ago, and I was just kind of the same, like, ugh. And I remember liking the next few a little more, but I haven't seen them in forever. So.
Yeah, and one thing I have to say, because I discussed this, I kind of said this with Mike in the Lights in the Sky or Stars review that we did. Because again, you're going to see people are going to be so confused because the start of this is my room is going to be blue, and then at the end of the Gurren reviews, my room's going to be gray, and then it's going to transfer back to blue for this, and then gray for later on. So like that time warps all over the place.
It will make more sense than like Asuka asking the dude, like, what do you think about this swimsuit? And then cutting to them sitting outside in a completely different area and then answering the question. So it's like, was there just that amount of awkward silence? But
Just
anyway,
couldn't think of it. But the point of this show and why I brought it up is to talk about things that we love. And we and Cameron do love this show.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just that when I say love, I don't mean unconditionally. It's something we really do enjoy, but we're not going to bring up stuff we don't like. This is coming directly after the fresh takes that I did with Gurren Lagann, which I genuinely like more than some members of my own family. So if you're noticing that the enthusiasm level sometimes is a bit lower for the episodes, it's not because I hate this show. I just don't like it nearly as much as Gurren, which I think is a perfection as far as anime is concerned. And this one was very much a mixed bag of bolts, even by its own makers. So just keep that in mind when you're watching these, where you're like, man, they were a lot happier when they were reviewing Gurren. That's not because they don't like the show. It's just, this is a product of its time. Holy balls.
Yeah, and from my perspective, as someone who's watching this for the first time, I'm coming into this knowing about the baggage, but still witnessing it fresh. But part of the reason why I am not as overjoyed as some other people who think that Neon Genesis Evangelion is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I think it's just because it's because I've done my homework. I'm aware of Gynex and of this show when it's at its baggage. So my expectations are managed.
And the weird part is you get to be in the era now of, for for the longest time, this and it is one of the most influential animes ever made. I will not say it's not.
Yeah, no.
But it's weird being in the time frame now where everyone, and it's still, I won't say that's not, or like, man, it was one of the most influential animes ever made. It was one of the greatest things ever made. No one could ever, there was no possible way to watch it to confirm or deny. But now we live in the time period where people can actively just check onto Netflix and watch it. So you're getting so many more differing opinions from people that are like, this looks like garbage. I'm like, it was made in the 80s. Like, calm down.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Just because you're influential doesn't mean you won't age like milk.
So
but no,
yeah.
It's like, I love this kind of stuff. I love giant robot stuff, but it's like, I can't help if I'm thinking about Die Guard most of the time, because I know I've brought that show up 100 different times over these like 10 episodes now.
Yeah.
But it's like, I remember loving that one a lot more than this. And I liked it at the time because it was different. It was unique because at the time, what did you watch as a kid? Like, what anime did you watch as a kid? Pokemon, Digimon, whatever. And then here comes Evangelion, and it's like, oh my gosh, is this the realm of anime I've heard so much about?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like coming back to it after 2 decades, and it's like, huh.
Yeah.
It's
like you said, me and Cameron are remembering different things for different reasons. And a lot of them are good, but the bad problem is a lot of good sometimes gets really weighed down by the out of touchness of the age of this type of anime.
And that's what I'm finding the most fascinating about covering this series, because we get to unpack all of the baggage.
Yeah, no, we don't have to like spend $250 for a complete DVD set now. Because, no, I mean, and it's also just fun to look back at this kind of stuff. Like, I would love to, like, if it wasn't 5 billion episodes, I'd love to do a fresh takes on like Inuyasha or something like that, or like rewatching Big O or something like that, because like that's some of my favorite stuff. But it is what it is. I'm sorry. Like, if you love it to death, despite the flaws, good. That's fine. We're not telling you to not do that. No, sorry. It's just like this. Right now, Mike, and this will date the episode like hell, but Mike and I are going to do a Renegade Animation talk about the Tom and Jerry movie that was released on HBO Max like yesterday. Yep. And some people are like, the critics are wrong, man. How dare they not like this movie? And then one turd said they should be fired and maimed for not liking it. And it's like, die on a hill for a better movie, please. Do not die on a hill for Tom and Jerry. Please, I beg you.
Yeah.
If it was Gurren Lagann or something, sure. Like, die on a hill for that. I'm fine with that.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, just don't realize when it's made, why it's made, a bunch of different things, and realize that just because we're a little bit more critical sometimes, it's because we love the thing and we need to bring up the parts we love and the part we don't, because there was still stuff I was critical of when we did Gurren. And that was
even I had my criticisms of Gurren, and Gurren Lagann is awesome.
Exactly. I cannot tell you the amount of times where Mike was just fucking sick of watching Rossyu be a douchebag.
That's a problem when you're like one of those anime that you're the originator. Like, because then you now have decades of anime to watch. Maybe not decades of giant robot stuff, but you can still look at the giant robot stuff that have come out after Eva, and look back at it and be like, oh yeah, that's where it came from. Didn't age well. It's not a good trope, but hey, that's where it happened.
And that is
happens.
It happens, and that is one thing where, again, spoiler alert, at some point with these two and possibly another person, we are going to be doing Darling at some point. I repeat, can fucking not wait to see your reactions when you see some of the shit that Ava did happen in the 2010s.
Oh gosh.
I'm actually really excited for
Yeah, no, I
For
want to be
this.
down. I want to be down for this. So
Exactly. So it'll happen at some point. We have another one we have to get out of the way first, at least, because it's one of our co-hosts that we promised we would do, and it's totally off kilter from anything of what we've done, and it's going to be awesome because it'll be one that I have never seen before. So that's going to be new. But anyway, we did get off the beaten path. We built a new path and then went down it for a little bit there, but it had to be addressed because this one was a little shorter, and I felt like I had to get that out of the way because of what I described the show as. So it'll be good. Trust me, you have not seen hard times going on it until we might record one in the interim to just put up as one. There's another show that we've decided the title on, and Kiona sent me some absolute garbaggio the other day that also might be the run up for one of our favorite episodes. You just want to see us be hard on something? We got a whole show dedicated to just that'll be coming up at some point.
Yeah.
So
I'm
excited for that too.
So,
yeah, we've got some stuff coming.
Yeah.
I just need to get off my. Actually, you know what? Right after this, I'm going to do it. I will make the Google Doc where we just start listing all of our stuff to make it a lot easier. But now that we're done with that, Mike, are you still on the slider toward enjoying it, or is slider toward not?
Let's just say it's plateaued.
It's plateaued. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and
it's frustrating when you go from such a fun episode to then one that just drags its heels again. So
yeah, and it tries to be fun towards the end of it. I'll give it that. It does at points, but it's
emphasis on the try.
Yeah.
If it's one of those things where it's like one of Mike's favorite movies is Spinal Tap. It turns it to 11 in the wrong direction with some things. And when you just turn it about down to 4, we'd have been fine. But yeah, with that, we're gonna hop on out of here. Cameron, where can people find you?
You can find me on twitter.com/camseyeview, where I post mostly tweets about animation. You can find me on camseyeview.biz, where I do written reviews for a series I do called The Other Side of Animation. I am the co-host of Renegade Animation on renegadepopculture.com, and I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/camseyeview. That's where you can find me.
Sweet. Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at CaptainK42. Check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. Find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. Like Cameron mentioned, you can check out our podcasts, including Renegade Animation, on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And last but not least, check out renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me at renegadepopculture.com, where this Fresh Takes is actually nicely uploaded by Kiona, which I always thank him for that. Like I mentioned last week, actually found it in a Google research when I wasn't even looking for it, which was freaking awesome. Made my day. I am on the Renegade Arcade quite regularly with him and Tyler, which is always fun. And you can find me on Twitch at Organoid Zero, and then on YouTube, where I also do Ruby stuff. I might do another round of Ruby crack jokes because I have not done that in quite a while and have a bunch saved up on an old hard drive. So we shall see. But yeah, we will see you guys next time. And until then, I'm going to figure out something to say at the end of these, but I can't. Till then, bye!